Here we go then. This is the top 5 teams from the Premier League. You've been waiting for it all week as to who I think you should manage on FM18 to give yourself a proper challenge on next year's game. Now, you may not agree with the list I pick on here. Leave it down in the comment section as you have been throughout the week. I'm really looking forward to this one because I think there's some quality teams in here. Anyway, let's get straight into it with my first team. The first up on the list is Newcastle. Now, I know, it's quite an obvious one, but what I want you to do is build on Rafa's success. The team he assembled, yes, they won the championship, but it wasn't convincing. Newcastle fans were not particularly happy with the brand of football that they were playing. Some of their players just kind of strolled through the championship. But you've got the likes of Lascelles, you've got Jonjo Shelvey, you've got Dwight Gale, you've got some good players in this team. Matt Ritchie, Iosi Perez. You can easily build a decent team. Once you've got your foot back in the Premier League again, you've got to be going Champions League with this side. You've got to be looking towards the Champions League. There's got so much potential with this club. Make it happen. You're going to have funds available. Mike Ashley has said to Rafa, your funds are going to be there. So on next year's game, you're going to have lots of money to spend, and it's down to you as to the type of players you buy. This is a really, really good challenge because, as I said, Newcastle is one of those teams that should be doing a lot better than what they are. And I mean, 2 relegations since the year 2008. So 2 relegations in 10 years for this side. It's just not acceptable. Next up on the list is West Ham. Now, what a toxic season they have had. Obviously, the move to the London Stadium, from a commercial point of view, makes sense, but the heart and soul has been ripped out of West Ham, and it really has. They've been plagued by injuries, and they've just kind of stumbled over the line to Premier League safety after such a good season last year. Obviously, the Dimitri Payet exit was very, very sour for a lot of West Ham fans. My challenge to you is that the club direction that it wants to be going in is European football. Buy the players to make it happen. You've got a good catchment area in London. There's no reason why you can't attract the best teams. Make some decent signings. The board always promised big names. You've got to deliver. West Ham is a great challenge on FM. It's one of those things where you could make them into a Champions League team. And again, really, the sky, like Newcastle, the sky's a limit. You've got so many good players in there that just don't seem to click. Make it happen. Everton under Ronald Koeman have been a fantastic success, but next year the money that is going to be available for you on this game is going to be ridiculous. Will Romelu Lukaku still be here? I personally think he will, and it's a case of building a team around him. You've got some good foundations already with this team, but as I said, the amount of money that's going to be pumped in, you're going to have an absolute field day. You could sign so many good players with this team. As I said, you've got the likes of Tom Davies now come through. Ross Barkley, if he's still around next year, is available. You've got the likes of Ashley Williams as a good centre-back. You've got really, really nice young players that are popping around and have just recently been signed by other teams. So it's a really, really good challenge. You've got some good young players. You've got a nice blend of experience in there. And as I said, with the amount of money you've got, the sky really is the limit. Arsenal. This subject of Arsenal, Wenger in or Wenger out is going to go on until I think an announcement is made. Whether or not an announcement will be made by the time this video goes out, I don't know. At the point of recording this on the 16th of May, there has been no decision. I personally think he's going to stay. Who knows? But not finishing in the top 4 after years and years and years of it happening for Arsene Wenger is a massive underachievement. But if they can keep Alexis Sanchez and if they can keep Mesut Ozil, next year build your team around them. Sort the defence out, sort the holding midfielder out, and for goodness sake, buy a quality striker and make Arsenal the force they once were under the old Arsene Wenger and get an invincible team. That's a challenge for you. Go unbeaten again with Arsenal. Good challenge. Now this team, I really hope you guys understand why I've put this in. This is going to be my challenge for next year. I'm going to become Stoke manager on an offline game. Since their promotion in 2007, they've just been there. They're just there now. They're just another Premiership team. Premier League team. Premier League, not Premiership. I'm thinking about the old times. They're just there. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to go down. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to get into Europe. They've got some nice players who can turn up on their day. They've got some hard players who can put crunch and tackle in. But that's about it. That's about it. There's nothing to Stoke anymore. They've got such good fans. They've got a good stadium. The challenge for me, and the challenge for you guys, I want you to set, is to break the mould. Get Stoke into Europe somehow and change this club from just being another Premier League team and make them a force to be reckoned with. Build on the stadium, build on the facilities, and get some really, really good players into Stoke. As I said, the challenge is there. You've got some good players already, but they just need something a bit extra. So my challenge to you for FM18, and the challenge for myself, is to break into that top 6 and really make Stoke a force to be reckoned with. Now again, I could have picked so many options as to who you could be on this game. Palace is a good option. Again, London team, so much potential, a lot of money going to be available next year. The challenge of being Burnley manager, how can you survive second season syndrome with limited resources, limited players, limited sort of catchment area? Can you put Leicester back into contention again after a really on and off season? There are so many teams in here that you could become a manager of and do something spectacular with. But let me know what you think about my top 5 selections, especially the Stoke one. Do you agree with me on that one? Any challenges that you think would be a good option, leave it down in the comment section below. Tomorrow's video is going to be a European special. We're going to move out of England and we're going to have a look around Europe to see what teams would be a good option to manage and why. So, as always, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. And until we see each other next time, adios.